Ben, it seems like the consensus on y'all's NCAA tournament fate kind of changes with each game, but how do you keep the team kind of motivated, and what's your message to them about all that?
It's just one game at a time. Nothing's changed from, months ago. We approach every game, we go in every game, expecting to win and understand how important it is for us to win at this time of year to, continue our march towards hopefully securing a spot in the tournament.
You guys obviously had a big win over Missouri earlier in the year. Have they changed at all? The same? Does it help having that confidence, knowing that you can take the court against Missouri and get a win? What's that like playing a team a second time? I know you guys do it all the time.
That was very naive to think that we can just take the court and win because we won the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely a fantasy. They're so much improved, and we're improved too from that game the first time we played. But when you look at them on film now, I mean, Pinson, for example, is averaging 21 points a game over the last 6 games. He had 32 against Ole Miss. I mean, he's been dominant. They crushed Auburn. They've crushed Arkansas. They beat Ole Miss. They had their first road victory against Vanderbilt, because it increases their confidence. And they're a very young team. They're a team that you look at them and how they've grown because of their youth. I mean, they're starting and playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores, young guys. Drew Smith's been a great leader for them. I mean, he's just the heart and soul of their team, playing 38 minutes a game. And those two guards, Pinson and Drew Smith, are averaging 40 a game between the two of them over the last 5 or 6 games. They've been unbelievably dominant against anybody. They were great at Arkansas, and that's with Isaiah Joe back in the lineup. And it's a one-possession game with 2 minutes to go, and had some tough breaks go against them in that game because they could easily have won that game. You look at how they're playing as of late, though. They had LSU right there. I mean, they had LSU down at half. I mean, it was a heck of a game at LSU on the road. I mean, they're a very tough team, and he's really a good coach. I mean, he's had success at Tennessee, at Cal, and he's building a really, really good program that is going to be, consistent and, there for a long time now. As you look at the young kids that they have in their program, and Tillman just came back for his first time in a long time the other night at Vanderbilt. Mark Smith, who missed 7 games, their outstanding shooter, and one of their best scorers, is now back after missing 7 games. So their depth, I mean, Pickett's been playing really, really good. He's incredibly tough. So this is going to be, our, toughest game of the year to date because of, the fact it's on the road, the importance of the game, and the fact that they're playing so well. It's going to be an incredibly difficult game. Nico Reed is really playing well. I mean, he's a kid that hadn't played that many minutes, and then Tillman gets hurt, and he's just improved. He's really a dominant force in there. He's a problem. He played very well the other night at Vanderbilt. He had 14 in one of their wins. I think it might have been against, Auburn, but they're going to him. They're using him as a inside option and really playing him. Those two guards, though, as I watch them, Pinson and Smith, they play anywhere in our conference, anywhere in the country. I mean, they're that good. Pinson has just been amazing.
Obviously, your team was in a similar situation last couple of weeks. You got a big home win and then lost at A&M. Got a big home win against Bama and go back on the road. What's got to change on Saturday to keep that consistency? Obviously, you guys have had some success on the road this year at Florida and Arkansas, but what do you think the biggest key is on Saturday when you look at this Missouri thing?
Just our focus and concentration and understanding, that we have to be at our very best to have a chance to win this game. Anything less will not get it done. And that means in terms of, our effort, our execution, our intensity. I thought at Alabama the other night, and we played our best game in a long time. I mean, we played as well as we played during this conference season. you know, an all-around game. I thought, you know, you go back and watch that film, and we watched edits of it yesterday. You know, Reggie was absolutely spectacular at both ends of the floor. You know, he was equally good defensively as he was offensively, and you know, he really, really stepped up at that end. And you know, that was the first game in a long time where we've held someone under 40% from the field. When's the last time we did that? You guys tell me. I haven't.
May have been in Missouri.
Vanderbilt.
Was it about,
It was
okay.
Vanderbilt.
But and then prior to that, when was it?
I think Georgia and Mizzou were both
Yes.
under 40 earlier in the year.
Yeah, and that's when, you know, we have to play like we did in those games in terms of our intensity and focus. You know, backs against the wall, you're 0-3. If you don't win, you know, forget about it. You know, we're in that same boat right now.
You know, the next three opponents are teams that you have played before. Does that make things any easier when you're trying to relay a scouting report to the team because they've already seen those guys, especially when you consider two of them are on the road the next couple of games?
Yeah, familiarity is always a positive when you've seen someone before, but sure like to have them here in Starkville. You know, I mean, I would trade the not being familiar with them to play them at home.
Again, questions for Coach with the microphone to you. Let's go back to Tyler, and then we'll get it back to Paul.
You mentioned both teams, including yours, being better than they were the last
I
time.
think everybody is. When you look on the league right now, like how much improvements were made by each. I mean, you look at everybody. I mean, you know, Auburn's dealing with a tough injury until, you know, he just came back the other day. He was, you know, a spectacular player in Okoro. You know, essentially, just about everybody's better than they were when we started back in early January. This, you know, gauntlet.
What are some of the things that your team has done to show that they've been better, you know, specific areas?
You know, understanding offensively of how we need to play in terms of, you know, we're number one in the conference in field goal percentage offense. So we weren't like that back in January, and we've evolved to be, you know, a good offensive team. You know, I think we've grown more at that end than at the other end, and I think part of the reason we're not better defensively is, again, my fault. I've just got to play more people and keep them fresh. I thought I did a better job, as I told you after the game, managing the minutes the other night, and I just got to stay committed to that because it helps our intensity level at the defensive end, which makes sense. I mean, it's like, you know, the moment.
Go back to Joel.
Maybe a weird question, I guess, but I know you had your way. You'd rather just be absolutely in the tournament and be playing for seeding now. But is there some fun in being able to coach on the bubble and have guys that, I mean, I know you preach one game at a time. I mean, when you're on the bubble, you have to take one game at a time. It's easier to coach. Is there an excitement, a fun to this a little bit? Like I said, I know you'd rather just be in and not have to worry about it, but.
Fun? You know, I would say that, you know, it's a better problem to have than to, you know, not even have a chance to get in. I mean, you know, we've got a chance here, you know, and that's exciting because, you know, you're going each and every game knowing how important it is. So there's just a heightened level of, you know, focus. And you think about all the work that these kids have put in, you know, from the beginning of, you know, June to where we are right now, you know, and all of, you know, it's culmination now, so we've got to bring it. And, you know, like I said to you guys, I look back at the A&M game last Saturday, and we practiced 2 hours on Friday. You know, this is the moron that had his team practice 2 hours the day before a game. So again, I go back and look at, you know, us losing, and it goes right to here. You know, after 24 years to still do, you know, stupid things like that, I continue to amaze myself.
Anything else for Coach before we let him go? All right, thank you guys.
I mean,